So yeah, welcome back to the fifth episode or the fourth. I don't even know which one it is.
Fourth, I think.
Fourth
No,
episode of it's
yeah,
fourth episode of Cold Pizza. So yeah, I'm looking kind of funny right now. What happened was I was lining up my beard, but the line kind of just went way too low, right? So I just had to I had to just shave it all off. So yeah,
He's lying.
probably why it's looking so funny right now.
He intentionally did this.
Nah,
Intentionally.
I have be out here looking like Walter White, bro. Be out here looking like ready to bust out the barbecue.
Low key, this look is working.
Nah, it's definitely
I
not.
like it, bro.
I feel like
But
if it was like a bit more like up here as well, right?
yeah,
Then I probably could have rocked it.
yeah.
But it's just that I don't know, bro. Like I feel weird. Remember last year when we did the mustache challenge? We shaved everything, just kept the mustache.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was kind of fucked.
that is low key though. I kind of liked it.
Yeah, but
I'm just kidding. No, my mustache is kind of thin.
yeah,
But
this guy wasn't allowed to be within like 10 meters of an elementary school.
Waleed's mustache is thick. Even though Waleed,
Bro, mine looks like a proper pedo mustache. Like when I do
my
it, right?
God.
Like it just properly looks like.
it
Yeah.
looks like a full mustache.
But I mean, yours kind of looks more disgusting because like it's like
Yeah, no,
it's like a thin strip.
It's a
like
thin strip.
Yeah, so that
It's
just
a
looks
thin-
so gross,
no,
bro.
no, but when I do this, you know.
Oh yeah, I can probably do this right now, bro.
No, not that. It's like when I line it, so that it ends at a small point.
Yeah,
I look French. And I don't look French, but like it's a French mustache,
we'll peep that, bro.
bro.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Put that down.
Anyway,
that's
so
what looking like a moves.
so the topic today we haven't actually quite figured out yet what we're gonna talk about, but you got any ideas? We can just throw some ideas down there. We can see what works, and then we can just like talk about it.
For today's what I think we should talk about is like us growing up in this generation, like growing up in a different time, us growing up in this generation compared to our parents growing up in
Oh,
previous
actually,
generations.
I think I can like modify that a little bit. We
Yeah.
can talk about how, like you know how we were born in the 21st century, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now just imagine if we were born in like the 7th century
Mm.
or like the 14th century, right? Or like in a completely different like time, like what's it called? Like we could have been born in the medieval era, like in ancient Rome or something. You know what I mean? Or we could have been born in Africa or something.
I mean, I don't know about that one, because that's just doing what those people did back then. But
No,
as to-
because you can just imagine like if you go with the knowledge you have right now, like let's say, what I know, I go back into the 15th century. I was born there with that knowledge, right? Bro, I could be like the smartest person today. Like if
Yeah.
the timeline just went as it is,
Yeah.
and I just went back.
yeah.
Today, like people know Einstein, people would be knowing Waleed Khan. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's going back to, even if we just went back to our
Oh, we
parents'
can
time,
talk about time travel,
that's
bro.
anything. Oh, I'm down to talk about time travel.
Yeah. So yeah, that's actually that's good. Yeah, I'm down to
I'm
talk
trying to
about
talk
that.
about time travel.
So yeah, how do you want to start off?
There's so much
Because
to
there's
talk about.
two like elements of it, right? Like you can actually either talk about how it works, or you can just talk about like how, because like theoretically speaking, like it is possible to time travel, right? Like it's possible to go forward in time, but I don't think it's possible to go like back in time.
backwards, yeah.
But if what's it called? If you do go forward, no, actually, the reason that why I think you can go back is because it just kind of messes up the continuity, right? So if you go back, right, it just causes, you know, the grandfather's paradox.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you go
So-
back, you kill your grandfather.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be born, so you won't be able to go back and kill your grandfather. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
So you're stuck.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why like traveling to the past
But-
is like really like
This is something that they said in you watch Endgame, right? Avengers Endgame.
no, I
You
didn't.
haven't watched Endgame?
No, I was gonna watch it, but
This
I
guy
don't
hasn't
watch
watched Avengers
Marvel
Endgame.
or.
He doesn't watch any Marvel movies,
Yeah.
which is sad, bro.
Bro, I'm a superhero myself.
Extremely sad. But anyways, basically, right? There's a scene where Hulk is telling them about time travel, right?
Yeah.
And he says another interesting thing. He's like, think about, so if I time travel back to the past, right?
Yeah.
And then, so if I time travel back to the past, this version, my past becomes this version's future, and my present and my past becomes this version's future,
Yeah.
right? And what's it called? And this person's past is the same past as the person I was when I was at this point. So it's like basically what he was trying to say is that traveling back in time wouldn't change anything, because he was basically saying that now you're still in that timeline, but it's just that your past has become your future now.
I mean, because is this what you're trying to say, that like basically if you go back in time, you won't really be aware of the fact that you actually went back in time, so you would do the exact same thing you would normally would have done.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm like, even if you were fully aware that you went back in time, right? Whatever you do from that point onwards, right? All that time that's in front of you now, right?
Yeah.
Is all the time that was behind you at that point.
Yeah.
And so that's where people like that. Then you can think of that person's, your future self's past is now your future.
No, but because think about it this way, right? Yeah. So if that person goes back in time, let's say, right?
Yeah.
And they do something that causes like a big a disruption in the flow of time. So let's say someone goes back, right? And they I saw this in an episode of Family Guy. So they stop 9/11 from happening.
Yeah.
And in turn, what that does is it just causes like a big like a completely different turn of events, you know?
Yeah.
And which is like actually bad. Like there's like,
what, like
nuclear bombs dropping and shit. Like they just kind of like related to it that way, right? So
yeah.
It just kind of like what they're trying to say is that they're talking about the butterfly effect.
Yeah.
Where it's something like very minor.
Cause and effect, yeah. It ripples out and it causes big changes.
So like the way that classically it's used is the chaos, right? So like a butterfly flapping its wings in Texas could cause in Brazil could cause a tornado in Texas or something like that along those lines.
I've heard that analogy.
Yeah. So like just like that. So if like Stewie, he went back in time, he stopped 9/11 from happening. In turn, like what that small event, right? Yeah. What it caused was like something much bigger. So like that led to something else, to something else, to like a completely different outcome. So that's what I'm saying. Like if you go back in time, like let's say that person, he goes back, right? He does something. So that would completely turn the future events into something that was not there before. Yeah. You know what I mean?
So it's like branching off into a new timeline.
Yes.
That's what you're saying.
So let's say like imagine us right now.
Yeah.
One of our friends, he goes back in time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And he does something that would truly like dramatically affect our lives. So at that point, would we feel the change happening to us? Like would we just one day randomly go out and see all the changes happen? Or we would just completely forget the fact that we were living this lives right now?
There's two ways to think about this, right? And this is what some movies and like places like they adapt it like this. So if that person goes back, starts changing stuff, right? At the minute they go back, right? The one way to think about it is it creates a new alternate timeline. Now that person is in that alternate timeline, right?
Yeah.
Everything that we do from that point onwards, right? We're still in our timeline and it wouldn't change. Now the only thing different in our timeline would be that our friend's gone, right?
Yeah.
And then but everything that he did is still there in our timeline. And now when he goes back and all the stuff that he plays around with, all the things that he changes, right?
Yeah.
will take every outcome that was not taken in our timeline will be taken in some other timeline, in any other timeline, right? So he goes back there, right?
Yeah.
He does stuff differently. We do stuff differently. Things happen differently. Whole other timeline. And there's another way to think about it is, this is how some other like sci-fi movies do it, is if somebody goes back, right, and changes something, right, our timeline gets erased. That's another way to think about it. Like, have you seen or have you read The Flashpoint Paradox? It is the greatest Flash story of all time. Basically what happens is, right, Flash goes back in time to stop the person that kills his mother, right? In doing so, many things happen, right? For example, Bruce Wayne doesn't become Batman. Thomas Wayne becomes Batman. Bruce Wayne gets shot in the alley. Justice League never form.
That's the butterfly effect.
Yeah, exactly. But so many things will happen. World War III happens and all that, right? Yeah. So what happens is, to fix this, right? At the end of the movie, this is spoilers, right? Spoilers for the book and the movie.
Ain't no one watching that movie, let's be honest.
Everyone watching that is one of the greatest animated films of all time, right?
Fucking nerd.
Thomas Wayne tells Barry Allen, the Flash, right, to go back, right, and save them, right?
Yeah.
And he gives him a letter, right? This is what I found weird about that movie. He goes back, right, with the letter that was written by Thomas Wayne in that timeline. So then Flash runs back, right? And then basically what happens is, he runs back, and then the Flash that was originally running back to save his mom, right? In running back, he sees that Flash running back to save his mom, and he tells him, don't do it.
Yeah.
But he doesn't listen, because he doesn't know what's gonna happen, right? So he keeps running faster, and then this other Flash comes back. This has been adapted in the Flash TV show to season 1, season 2, almost every season. But yeah, he goes back, and he stops that Flash, and in stopping him, right? Basically, what happened is when he stops him, he doesn't do that, and what happens is that whole timeline gets erased. Like, they do not exist anymore, right? Yeah. But the thing I found weird is, right, that letter that Wayne gave Flash, right, is still with him. Now, because any remnants of that timeline should be erased, right? Yeah. But since he took a remnant with him to the original timeline, he reset it, right? That thing stayed. So that's also another weird concept, is that if you do go back, or if alternate timelines do get created, and like that time traveler takes something with him, right? Whatever it is, a piece of paper, clothing, anything, right? Mm-hmm. Will it like just disintegrate if you change stuff, right? Or like does it like merge in, like, and become part of that timeline?
See,
that's the weird thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So you know the fact that you talked about, like, when you go back and you do something that creates an alternate timeline.
Yeah.
I feel like every decision you make, right? Yeah. So like, let's say today, like, I decided to come to uni, right? There's an alternate version of me in the multiverse who didn't decide to come today.
Exactly, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So every single decision that you make, there's like
a version of you
infinite versions of you that do not make that decision.
Exactly, yeah.
So so in a sense that alternate timelines, they already exist.
Yeah, they do.
Right?
The multiverse theory.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that being said, so let's say
very exciting. I love talking about the multiverse.
Let's say like one person, like let's say like you go back, like I go back in time, right?
Yeah.
That would completely just disrupt my whole timeline. Mm-hmm. But that means that there's like infinite amount of other timelines in which I am me. Yeah. But those timelines do not get affected.
Yeah.
Your theory, like what you said, is saying that you create an alternate timeline. Yeah. I'm saying there's
already
timelines. That if you go back, you basically fuck up your timeline. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And there's nothing you can do back to change it.
That's one thing that was unexplained in that Flash movie, right? And in the story as well, is that when Flash went back, right? And
this guy loves Flash. Eh?
No, I love Flash. Where he goes to that timeline, and then basically what happens. This is what I was wondering, right? The Barry Allen of that timeline, he was nowhere. So when he ran back, did he become that Flash? Because the thing is, he kept having memories from his original timeline, but the longer he stayed in that timeline, those memories started fading away.
Yeah, because let's say like I go back, right?
Yeah.
Would there be like a version of me that's like younger, or would I be the exact version?
That's exactly what I'm saying. You go to but you go back, and you're saying that, but that timeline already exists in a multiverse, right? Mm-hmm. So then, what happens if two Waleeds are existing in the same multiverse? What happens? Do you guys merge into one? Does one Waleed like stop existing? Do you get the memories that Waleed has, but you've never made those decisions? Does that Waleed get the memories that you have, but he never made those decisions? Right? So who picks and chooses who stays in that timeline, and whether both can still stay in that timeline? Like that's so weird to think about, right? That's also a big thing about the time traveler thing.
Well, when you think about it, like in terms of like our actual physics that we have nowadays, right? Yeah. Like theoretically speaking, like time travel to the back, like in the past, it's not possible. Yeah. Right? Yeah. I watched this video, like Kyrgyzstan, they made it, right? Yeah. You know them, right?
I watched the same one.
So, like, you can use a wormhole, right? Yeah. But that wormhole would only be able to take you back to the time when it was created. So, like, let's say, I don't want to, like, get into the mechanics of, like, how a wormhole works. Mm-hmm. But, like, it's basically, like, when you just arrange the wormhole right here. Yeah. And that's your present time right now. Yeah. So, the wormhole would only be able to take me back to this point in time. Yeah. Right? Not any time behind, like, past that, you know? Yeah. So, yeah, like, you can't really go back in time. But, like, if you can go in, like, you can actually go forward in time. Yeah. That's possible. Like, that 100% possible. Yeah. And that's just because this is like a theory of Einstein. So basically, like, if you travel really fast, like close to the speed of light, or if you're like in a very strong gravitational field, right? This was said in the movie Interstellar too.
Time, you know, like, time slows down.
Yeah, so time slows down, right? So in a sense, when let's say like I'm near a really big black hole, right? Like the guys in the Interstellar movie were. Yeah. So in that area, time is passing very slow. So every second that passes here, there's like 1,000 years being passed somewhere else, right? So I can teleport there. Well, there's no such thing as teleportation, but I can go there. Yeah. And I can spend like 5 minutes there, right? And that's going to be me spending time there. But when I go out of there, when I go back to my world, it's going to be like thousands of years in the future. Yeah. Even though I'm going to be alive still, all the people I know here are going to be dead. And same thing with, like, if you travel really fast, right? Yeah. You go, like, like you just keep traveling. You travel like for a year at the speed of light. You come back, it's gonna be like 21, 30 years in
Yeah.
the future.
Yeah.
And well, one actually weird thing about it, right?
It's because because the thing is, the closer something gets to the speed of light, right?
Yeah,
the mass of that object starts increasing as well.
Yeah.
Right. But like that's why you can't. That's why when you know when people talk about warp drive, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, you got to move the ship at the speed of light, right? But then it's impossible to move something with mass. At
The thing
speed of
is,
light.
that's not even like the
Right?
actual reason.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
What?
The reason that you can't travel to the speed of light is not because the mass gets infinite. Like that's part of it.
Yeah.
But the main reason is because you can think of like space like in basically just imagine space being in like a 2-dimensional thing, right?
Yeah.
So like your x-axis you have time.
Yeah.
Your y-axis you have time.
Yeah.
Your x-axis is velocity, right?
Yeah.
So the faster you travel through space,
Yeah.
the slower you travel through time.
Yeah.
So when I travel at the speed of light, which is
Yeah.
the maximum speed you can
Yeah.
travel, right? Then you don't travel through time. And if you travel faster than the speed of light, then theoretically speaking, you're gonna travel backwards in time. Like I said, which is not possible.
Yeah, because when you go faster and faster and faster, right? Time starts slowing down relative to you.
Yeah.
Like you perceive it as slowing down. So theoretically, if you get the speed of light and you surpass it,
Then
right?
time flows back.
Time flows backwards.
Yeah.
Like
Which
that's
is-
how Flash goes back in time.
Yeah.
He runs faster than the speed of light, and like time barrier opens and he runs through it. Right? It's like when you break the sound barrier,
Yeah.
you get a sound boom, right? Sonic boom. When you break the time barrier, right? There's a time boom, and that's what opens this thing and he runs through it, right? But that's all like
Sci-fi
yeah,
stuff,
that's all sci-fi stuff. Another thing about the this was also like a crazy thing I was looking at, right?
Yeah.
It's because so when we talk about warp drive, right? And they were trying to see like through all these like Star Trek and all these sci-fi films that how to get something in space like a spaceship to distant far galaxies and star systems far away without getting something like warp drive. You've heard about the stretching, the expansion.
Yeah, no, let me talk about that, right? So you're saying that how did they get there so fast, even though like they're traveling at a limited speed?
Yeah, with the expansion behind and the contraction
So
ahead.
there's two things, right?
Yeah.
So first of all, when you travel at the speed of light, it slows down time for you, right? So let's say if I'm going to the nearest star, like Alpha Centauri, right? It's 4 light years away. So when I'm in the spaceship traveling at the speed of light, I don't feel the effects of time at all. Like anything with mass cannot travel at the speed of light.
Yeah,
But let's say
yeah.
like I travel at the speed of light, I won't be aware of the fact that I'm even existing. So like a photon is massless, right?
Yeah.
So the photon itself, it passes the journey from this planet to this star system to the other star system in no time. So for the photon itself, time doesn't pass at all. But for the outside observer, it takes 4 years to go from the sun to Alpha Centauri. So when I'm traveling at the speed of light, it's gonna take me absolutely no time to get there.
Yeah.
Like zero, right? So which we can't do, right?
Yeah,
Can't
yeah.
travel speed of light. But let's say like it's 99.999% of the speed of light, right? It's gonna take me, like in my perspective, it's gonna take me 10 minutes to get there. But for the people on Earth, it took me 4 years to get there.
Yeah.
So like let's say something is like infinitesimally far away, right? Like infinitely far away. So that's gonna take me like no time to get there. But people on the Earth, there's gonna be generations passing. Like we're gonna be extinct by the time I
Yeah,
get there. But for
yeah.
me, it took no time.
It did take no
And
time.
also the contraction and expansion of space, right? So
Yeah.
that's basically like another
Space-time.
That's another like element of the relativity theory. It basically says like when you travel at the speed of light, you're not only slowing down time, but you're also contracting space. So space like physically shrinks for you, like relatively, right?
Yeah.
So that's why like you can make that journey, if that makes sense. You know?
For what I was telling you about, right?
Yeah.
This was a theory that like these guys were talking about, like these NASA engineers, because basically, right, this theory involves getting from point A to point B, which is very far away, right?
Yeah.
And you're not moving at the speed of light. Your craft is not even moving.
Yeah.
It's not moving, right? So what they were talking about, right? So you know what negative energy is, right? Antimatter.
Yeah.
Right? What's it called? These exotic matter, right? Very like theoretical stuff. up there.
Antimatter, that's like positron and
Yeah. Like all that, right? Negative energy and stuff like that, right? So what they were talking about is if you could get enough of it
yeah.
and concentrate it into a small place, right? What that does to space-time, right? Depending on what type of negative energy you have, right? is so if you had like if this is my ship, right?
Yeah.
What it does is you concentrate enough here, you concentrate enough in front of it, enough behind it, right? Creates a bubble around your craft, and it contracts space-time in front of you, expands space-time behind you. So you're basically getting pushed and pulled along to where you want to go, but you've never moved. Like you haven't accelerated.
Why does it do that? Wait, well, no, because what I understand, like with antimatter, when it comes in contact with actual matter, it's a 100% efficient. What's it called? Annihilation, bro. Like it just releases energy.
No, it warps space time, like that fabric.
No, because bro, like if a positron and an electron, right? They come together, they annihilate each other, bro.
No, it's not. It's not actually touching anything. It's not making contact with anything. It's just contracting that fabric in front of you and expanding it behind you.
And you do that with antimatter.
Yeah. But it's very theoretical. They're like, because we can't get enough. You can barely get a little bit. We could like you can't even observe them.
There's actually theories that there's like whole galaxies made of antimatter.
Yeah. There's like I'm talking about like getting a lot in one space, like a significant amount to get an effect like this, to get an effect to the point where you're warping space time is like a big feat, right? It's completely theoretical right now. But they're saying if you could do that, right? Theoretically, you could have a bubble in front of your craft, a bubble behind your craft. The one in front contracts, the one behind expands, and you push your vehicle along. And you do not have to accelerate nothing. You don't have to move, right? But the thing is, that's the hard part. Getting all this exotic matter, getting a lot of it, and concentrating it into small speed. But then you do that, you can go anywhere. You don't have to touch the speed of light. You don't even have to move. That's crazy. That's so crazy. It's like, you know what peristalsis is? Like it's how in your esophagus, right? When you swallow food. Yeah. It's how food gets down your stomach, right?
Oh yeah.
That squeezing and pushing motion. Think about it like that, but in space.
That is gonna be like really hard to do, no?
Yeah, no, that's crazy. But it interested me because I'm like, yo, you don't even have to like the craft is not moving, but you're getting pulled and pushed along with space time. I'll send you the video, bro. It's so. You know who Michio Kaku is? That physicist. Bro, he's deadly. He had a whole show. Like he likes sci-fi a lot, right? And he explores sci-fi ideas and how, like, based on the physics, you could theoretically make them in real life. Like he's done lightsabers, he's done warp drive from Star Trek, he's done everything, right? Watch his videos. They're like he goes into this. Yeah. It's so nice. And there was a guy, who developed an equation for it, right? And he goes and meets with him and he tells him about this expansion and contraction. Very interesting idea, but yeah, that would be cool, bro.
I don't think, personally, I don't think that's like feasible really, because I don't think you can actually like.
Bro, these guys have equations for it. I'm not at their level. I don't have the understanding.
I don't either, but I'm just saying, like,
it
seems kind of.
It seems
kind of weird.
It seems cool, right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It seems
because I've heard about like wormholes. And like there's theories that like the end of the black hole is basically like an entry to like another universe or something like shit like that, right? Yeah. But I've never heard this one. That's kind of interesting.
I'll send it to you. It's so cool, because you're not even moving, but you're moving. Like you're getting pulled along, with like the fabric of space time is pulling and pushing you along. Yeah, that's very cool.
You know, a lot of people actually don't know that, right? Like, like you'd be surprised. People don't know the fact that like space isn't like something rigid, right? It's like it's bendable. It's like squeezable. Yeah. It's like basically like a trampoline. Yeah. And
gravity warps space time.
Yeah, people don't know that, bro.
Like, that's like, so when you have a planet or something of large mass, right? Yeah. You get a big gravitational field around it. That's why in the movie 2 Interstellar, right, you had this black hole, very big black hole. Yeah. When they got close to it.
Here's how you can visualize it. You can basically like think of a trampoline, right? Oh shit. We could. This is kind of awkward. But you can.
Shooting the whole podcast, bro.
Yo, bro. No, you can think of a trampoline, right? Let's say you place like a very massive object on it, right? Like it just kind of goes down like that. Yeah. And that's basically the effect that a planet or like a big like star has on space time. But again, like unlike a trampoline, like space time isn't like 2D. Like it's like 4-dimensional. Yeah. So like it's a weird like like
we can't visualize it. We can't visualize, but that's the example most of these like physics professors use in uni.
Yeah, they use like a trampoline, but like in reality it's 4D. Yeah. So you can't like you basically just have to understand the fact that it's actually being pulled down.
Because we cannot we can't think in that fourth dimension, but it is cool.
And it's crazy because the fact that like we feel the attraction of gravity towards the Earth is not because of the fact that there's like like giant magnets attached. I've talked to like actual engineers who think that there's like a magnet in the Earth, which is the reason why we've been pulled down to the Earth. It's because because of the curvature of the space time, right? Objects like they tend to have this tendency of like following a straight path, right? So, but a straight path on a curved surface would be like our trajectory, like towards the Earth.
Yeah.
So we're basically following a straight path, right? And that's the reason why we're attracted to the ground. If space was like if it wasn't curved, right, then we'd just be floating. So
it's crazy to think about because gravity warps time.
Time. That's why in Interstellar it was
exactly.
It was like that, yeah. And bro, like that's something I find so interesting, right? Like
Interstellar was easily like it's in my top 3 movies of all time.
Interstellar.
That movie was too nice. There's a whole book written called The Science of Interstellar where they go into detail because that photo of a black hole is the most scientifically accurate like photo that they could come up with of a black hole. Yeah, based on everything we know. And like it's crazy. Like they the directors they took like steps to like try to make it as accurate as possible. Yeah. Even like that. Remember that scene when they were on the planet with the waves, right? Yeah. Where the time passes differently. In the soundtrack, right? Each like ding 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 or something like that, right? Some ticks in the back or whatever it was in the soundtrack represented like minutes. Yeah. Or something going by on that planet, right? But each like tick was a certain amount of like years going by on Earth. And like this small
that's so scary.
Like this small attention to detail is why, in my opinion, Interstellar is just it's the next level.
And thing is, like usually, like what they do with these sci-fi movies, like they just like pull shit out of their asses, right? Yeah. But with Interstellar, like a lot of the stuff that they talked about, that's actually like how like
even
real life physics
even
works.
Neil deGrasse, he loves Interstellar, and he thinks it's like one of the most scientifically accurate movies out there.
Bro, Neil deGrasse Tyson's the GOAT, bro.
I love him
too, bro. You know, so I got this poster. Like it's a pretty nerdy poster, but I got this poster the other day, and it's what's it called? It's the plaque basically. Like you know the plaque that Carl Sagan designed, and they sent it to.
Yeah, I got the same one.
You got the same one, right? The same one,
yeah.
So we got this poster,
but I didn't like the white outline.
Yeah,
I don't.
Nah,
like that.
I wish it was bigger.
I might cut it up. I'm not gonna
lie.
Yeah,
the white. Yeah,
just cut it out. Just cut it out, and you can. And honestly, you can get it framed if you like it.
Bro, I wish it was bigger though, cause bro, that's. I'm not even kidding. Like I think that plaque is probably like the coolest thing that we've ever done, bro. Like as humans, right?
You can get it off Amazon.
Yeah.
Like a significantly
bro,
bigger.
Like just when you think about the significance of that, right? Yeah. Like it's crazy. Like it just kind of blows you away.
If you have if you have like a player, like a vinyl player, right? You can buy the vinyl off Amazon too. Yeah, play it. It's so deadly.
So yeah, you want to know? Well, basically, like I want to explain a little bit, right? So this was This was in like the 1970s, so we were trying to discover aliens, right? So what we did, it was basically like a way to preserve like our sounds, our cultures, like the way we look, our position in space, all that stuff, right? So what they did, like Carl Sagan, he designed this plaque, right? So he just put like he put a bunch of sounds from the Earth, like nature sounds, traffic sounds, etc., everything. He put like how we look, humans. He put the instructions of playing the plaque. I think it's in binary, right?
Yeah.
Like everything is on it's in binary. So even like the position of the Earth, like everything.
Every major piece of information to summarize us and our progress till like that generation. Yeah. Like the best summary of it is on that disc. The golden disc.
Golden plaque. Yeah. And it was on Voyager 1, which is probably somewhere like interstellar space right now. And yeah, if a smart alien discovers it, bro, like they can probably like listen to us speaking. You know how? Just think about how cool that is.
That is pretty cool.
And
they're gonna attempt to make contact with us too, but who knows how long that might take.
No, it's gonna take an incredibly long time. Like, but at least the fact that we know now that even if like our like
that
our
there's
species,
something out there for us that has our that has traces of us.
Yeah. So like even if like we go extinct at some point, right? Yeah. Like we know the fact that there's remnants. Is that the right word?
There's
what's the word?
Remnants? Yeah, there would.
There's I don't know the right word, but like you guys know what I mean. It's just like there's something out there that represents us. You know, like all the stuff that we've built and all the major accomplishments that we've achieved as a species, and that's pretty awesome. And yeah, I actually think that that's probably like the most significant piece of art ever created by any human. Like straight up.
Yeah. He is a goat for that. Not
Yeah.
gonna lie.
And what else? Have you heard the stuff that's on it? There's actually one song by this guy named Blind Willie Johnson.
Yeah.
Have you heard of it?
I watched like a video
Yeah.
where they like played everything. Pretty sure there's not just one, there's multiple songs on.
Yeah, no, I'm just talking
Yeah.
about this one that kind of like stuck with me, right?
I haven't.
It's
I
the
don't
guy,
know
this guy named
specific names.
Blind Willie Johnson, and basically throughout his whole life, like
Yeah.
he was an African American, right?
Yeah.
And bro, like his mom, like when he was younger, like she used to hit him, bro. Like she
Yeah.
burned him, like with the what's that thing, bro? Basically, she used to hit him and abuse him
She
and all that
abused him,
shit,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then when he got older, bro, like he lost his home. He used to sleep on wet paper towel or like wet like newspaper, shit like that, right?
Mhm.
And he made this song. It's basically like humming. He's humming, right? He's like do 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 do, like shit like that,
Oh,
right?
I have
You've
heard.
probably
That.
heard
They were
of it.
playing that. They were playing that in the background of
Yeah.
the
And
video.
all the hardships that he went through
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
right? Like all the tough things that he went through in life, and now his voice is out there representing us.
Representing human beings' resiliency and human beings' toughness.
Think about
That's-
that.
that's a
bro.
good-
It's
that's a
deep,
good-
bro.
That's a good person to choose, and like it's a good representation.
Yeah, bro. Like
It's
I don't
deep.
know.
It's deep.
it's very deep.
It's
yeah.
very deep. Yeah.
Sometimes I listen to that song.
It's
and
very.
I'm like,
It's very physically deep in our
Yeah. this
in
guy
space.
really coming with the jokes. Eh?
Yeah,
No, but
it's
I'm
very
saying
deep.
I'm saying right because sometimes I'm just listening to that song, right, and I'm like, bro, this song is really out there, like. It's like billions of kilometers away
Yeah,
from us.
that aliens could listen to potentially.
And this is the song that would define us if an alien finds the plaque, and
Yeah.
hopefully they're smart enough to actually know how to play it. But yeah, like that's pretty sick.
I agree.
Do you want to? What time is it right now? I probably should get. I have a quantum physics assignment due at 12. I have an astrophysics assignment due at 12. Mans haven't started doing any of it, bro.
And I have a activity diagram for one of my software classes due tonight. Not really due, but I have to get it done by tonight. And an operating systems assignment due on Friday. So I should get on that as well.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that's
been
it for
good.
the episode.
32 minutes.
Yeah. That was a
lengthy episode.
very interesting talk.
Very informative,
interesting topic.
Interesting episode.
Hopefully you guys enjoy it. I know I've been getting like a lot of requests to talk about something that's like not very scientific and like that's like
We will. Honestly, in our next episode, we should.
Yeah.
I say we should talk about that. This is what I think. The generations thing and how.
I think that's
we were
boring,
raised-
bro. Because
Nah,
I
that's
feel
not
like
boring.
I feel like we should talk about something that's like controversial.
Especially in this this TikTok electronic age of social media influencers and all that.
Oh,
I
I think
been trying to talk about
that
this.
do be
you
looking
know,
like a heavy GPU.
I've been
bro.
trying to, because bro, kids raised today and like just in like I know we're like what are we, millennials or Gen Z? I don't know what.
I don't even know what the difference is, to be
We're
honest.
one of the newer ones, but I personally I'm more of an old school person.
Yeah, me too.
I know you are too, but I just want to analyze how kids today are raised and how the older generations were raised. I just want to compare them. So I think
Thing is,
that should be a good topic, but
I
we're
wasn't.
open
Probably
to-
you were too. Like we're raised in like a very like an old school environment. If you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like
We're
kid-
immigrants. We're immigrants, bro.
Yes, like we're-
Every immigrant, I'm pretty sure, is raised about the same. You know, back home or even if you're
You know,
in the
I
West.
got my first phone when I was in grade 9
Yeah, same.
or grade 10 actually.
Same.
Right? And then I swear to God, there's people like I knew who had phones in grade 4 with me.
There's people
Grade
right
4,
now
grade 5.
that I know.
Oh,
kids
right now
today.
people have it in grade 1 and grade 2 and shit, bro.
like.
But I'm
it's
just saying, like for us, it was like grade 4. Like that was the area to get phones.
I'm saying
I got it in
I'm
grade
saying
10.
we make this the next episode.
Yeah,
and let's talk about it on the next episode.
Okay, that
All
sounds
right,
good.
okay.
Well, that's good. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys next time.
Next time.
Easy.